Today is September 27th, 13 minutes past the hour. It is 14 minutes into September 27th, 2023. I'm thinking, I'm thinking that I entered into a trade. I'm thinking I entered into a trade because of this one reason, which is I entered it because of fear of missing out, or just the need to enter a trade to make myself feel better about like trading, because I feel like it seems to be that I am like it seems to be that I have to be in a trade because I feel like I have to be productive about something, right? I think that's the reason why. I think that's the reason why I entered into a trade, and subsequently, essentially, I think that's the reason why. I mean, there's no other reason why I'm doing it, because the setup that I have would have clearly substantiated what I needed to do. It should have clearly defined my setup. Okay, it should have clearly. So I'm just reviewing the trades that I took today. And the trade that I took today, I'm just reflecting on the trade that I made today. And the trade that I made today, it really is, it's like the trade that I made, the trade that I made was essentially just like right here, this darkness. The trade that I made is just darkness. Because the trade was essentially just foggy things that I said to myself, look, I'm just going to take this trade. I'm just going to enter a trade and see what happens and allow 50-50 chance of, it wasn't even 50-50 chance, because it was actually directed into losing more than winning. And so I allowed the trade. I allowed the trade. Whoa! I allowed the trade to occur essentially. I essentially allowed the trade to happen, just out of whim, allowing my stop losses to help me make the trade. So essentially, if I enter a trade and if my stop losses hit for a smaller amount, and if I have a 50-50 chance of winning, that means that the next trade that I make, the gain that I will have with that following trade will offset the numerous losses that I have. So even if I'm doing a 50-50 chance of trading, then even without a setup, then I will be profitable based on the fact that I have a win to loss ratio. Actually, so the winning percentage is going to be higher than the losing percentage. That means that even with the 50% win to loss ratio, I would still be consistently profitable. But what I am able to now, what I need to do is focus on. Wow, this is something that I did not even discuss in the past. Okay, this is something that I did not discuss. I didn't even discuss. I didn't even think about this or discuss this part of my trading. Now I am discussing it. I'm thinking about it. I'm working into it. This is something that I should have thought about and developed it fully, so that I am able to completely comprehend the step-by-step process of making the trades that I made. Okay, and so now I'm partitioning. Now I'm partitioning these things into something that's making me conscious of the step-by-step process that I need to use to make the trade. So today, I'm just publicly laundering this thing here. Okay, the reason that I am not consistently profitable and I am the 95% is essentially this. I have this notebook computer. I have this cell phone that I bought. Okay, this cell phone that I bought. And sometimes what I would do is I would look at it and say, oh, it's red. Okay. Well, that looks like it might be a good entry point. I'll get into it. Okay. I have this much money in my personal account. So let's see if I can find something that I can buy. Okay. And see if it fits into the price range that I can afford. And so I get into it based on purely the fact that I can afford a particular options call or a put, and I get into it without digging deeper into the confluences and the setup that I have in mind that allows me to make the right trade. And so that's what I do. The second part is I sit here at Office Evolution, and people if they don't know right now, I'm just a dishwasher. Okay. If people don't know, my two siblings concocted a things and conspired and took and placed this situation and gave me a felony. Okay, so now I'm a convicted felon for grand theft, taking advantage of the elderly, which is my parents, right? So I took care of my father. I put him in a nursing home because he was bedridden, essentially, right? And so there was no way to take care of him. So anyway, so that's that. Okay, so that's where I am right now. Okay, this is something that is a public information. Anybody can look at it. My name is right there. It's a public information. You can dig it up if you want to look at it. You can just public information, whatever you want to do. It's out there, right? It's out there. So that's me. What I can say, as God as my witness, I am innocent. Okay, that's all. That's the only thing that I can say. It's complex. I've described it in one of my videos, but one or two of my videos. So now what I need to do is to, now that's concretely defined. Okay? And I appreciate this opportunity to develop into my things and do daddy-o, do. Okay, so Westside Drive-In has a thing called daddy-o. It's a humongous burger. Okay, I attempted to eat it a few times, all of it, but it ends up, a little bit left. Maybe because I bought like 2 burgers or something. So it's a do. So now it's time to do. Let's do it. Let's do. Do I have any videos made of like do? I'll call it a do. Do I have any videos called do? Let's see if there's any videos called do. Okay, it's time to do. It's time to do it. Okay, it's time to do. Do it. It's time to do. Just make it very simple. Just do. Okay, God was this customer. The last customer ordered a daddy-o. Okay, the customer ordered the daddy-o. He ordered the daddy-o, and it's abbreviation for the cooks and the cashiers. There is D-O. Do a daddy-o. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, it's essentially just a bunch of meat, lots of meat, and some vegetables, and on within inside a bun. Yeah. Oh, it's good. I'll have it one of these days. Oh yeah, now I'm hungry. Anyway, so now I've essentially see UK spread betting. That guy's right. That guy's right about what's going on, right? Even though I'm not consistently profitable right now, I'm building up these knowledge to discover things, that talk about things, and discuss about these things that I was just clueless in the past. Okay, in the past, for instance, like psychology and what that meant was like I had no idea. I was like making YouTube videos and saying to like looking into it and saying, why am I doing that? I have no idea. But now I realize that there is a psychological thing that occurs that causes me to be rendered into a uh, uh, de-evolution, essentially, into transforming my mind into being a essentially a mindless, unreasoning, there's no way to reason with individual who's controlling this mouse that clicks into my lifeblood, my finances, my every penny that I have, and I'm risking it, and I'm allowing this chimp to run amok and make these things happen, right? It's and I didn't even realize what was going on in the past. Now I do. And I'm beginning to understand a little bit more about the things that I do to myself in trading. And that impacts the results of my trading. So now I'm at the point where I have finally become aware, and I have I have developed a respect for these things that I did not know in the past. Now I do. When I have this respect in the past, it's like the chart formation that is respecting a support. When it respects a support, there's a reason that it is respecting a support, because some things within Wall Street on the other side of that monitor, someone is buying. That's why it's called support. Somebody's buying at that point. It's rigid, it's solid, it's within a time frame. When it bounces, it means that it is it is it is it is it. That's what it is. Do it. Okay? Do it. Okay? So, now what I need to do is to define my setup. I have to define my setup. Okay, that is the entryway. What is a setup? Setup is an entranceway. Entry. It's an entry. Setup. Okay, so if I look at the chart and within a time, so how do I describe this a setup? Okay, how do I describe a setup? A setup is this. Okay, what is a setup? Okay, setup. Linda Rasky did not have a drink on her interview with Confessions of a Market Maker. She was talking, and her voice all of a sudden became hoarse, and she was like, all she had to do was just grab one of these and have a drink. Water, it's water, hot water. We get free hot water here. Usually this hot water is like percolated into making, actually filtered, not percolated, filtered into like coffee. And whoever drinks it, I know what it does. I know what it does to me. So that means I have to clearly define my setup. Let's figure out how to set up my, how do I set it up? Okay? How do I define my setup? How do I define my setup within a day? Okay, so I'm looking at the chart formation. Okay, so I'm into it. I'm into it. I'm into this trade. Okay, so let's get into it. So the day unfolds, and the first candle paints, and it's a red candle. Okay, it gaps down. First of all, it gaps down. It's like painting a candle, 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 and I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this candle, and I'm trying to make sense of what this candle is doing. Okay, so what, so then it creates a structure. Then it creates a formation. There's a formation there's a formation in the chart. Okay, when I see that formation, I recognize it as a known setup. That means that I know what I'm supposed to do when I see that setup, so I enter based on that particular setup because I know what's going to happen when I get in. Okay, so the premise is this: I enter based on the presumption that the next candles will behave in a certain way, and that's why I entered. If it is not a recognized setup, then I cannot get enter. Okay, so it's like a wall. Okay, if I don't see a wall, okay, if there's a wall, and if I don't see a door, I cannot use the door. That's what a setup is. Setup is a door. Okay? Setup is a door, I tell you. Setup is a door. Setup is also an exit door. Setup is used to enter, and setup is used to exit. Okay, that's all it is. I thought I saw somebody just walking right behind me and just hit right in there. But then again, I only have one eye. So the reality, I'm just getting goosebumps. Woo! Whoa, look at that. Do you see the goosebumps? Oh, I just got goosebumps. Whoa, whoa, it's not even, I usually get this in the wintertime, but I'm just getting goosebumps. Yes, that is my arm. See that? Look at that. Yes. See, the reason I talk like this is because the reason that I talk like this is because I'm alone. I have been alone. What I do is I go to sleep in a room. I go wash dishes with the earplugs on, okay? And then I'm at Office Evolution. I stay here and I study and I do my thing, okay? All right? What else do I do? Okay, sleep, wash dishes, Office Evolution, eat. Okay, the eating is the other thing, right? I eat alone anyway, right? So I have existed for the past many years by myself, watching YouTube and day trading, trying to figure out how to do this thing, right? And so that's why I talk like this. Once I become successful, I'm going to do certain things. Maybe I'll ask my ex-wife what kind of dancing that I should learn, right? So I'll practice how to dance. A good friend of mine in the past, he told me, "Hey, why don't you dance, Key?" I'm thinking to myself, huh? The real answer is, I don't know how to dance. I'm stiff as a board. So what I need to do, so essentially it's a door. Setup is a door. And what I have been doing is I've been like running into a wall all this time. It's not even a door and I would run into it. I get like smacked. But sometimes I would get lucky. See, the thing is, I wouldn't even know. I would look at so stock market is like this. The stock market is like this. Okay, it's a wall. It's like Wall Street. Ah, well, that makes sense. Oh my God. Oh yeah, that's what it means. Aha. That's what it means. Oh wow. That's what it means. Yeah, exactly. So that means that, so far what I have been doing, amateurs do this. Amateurs are this way. The 95% of the people, when they look at the stock market, it's basically just a wall. It's just the Wall Street. It's Wall Street. Okay, that's what they see. Like I see. That's what I see right now. And then when I have a little bit of money, I just look at a particular part of the wall and I just get in. Okay, I try to get in, and then what happens is that my nose will run into the wall, and then immediately I realize that my account is being like drained. Okay, that's like my nose like just wham right into the wall. That's what it's like. But sometimes, but sometimes the market is going in the right direction of the way that I think about, and I enter into a wall, but it just turned out to be a door, and I would enter. And then when I enter, it would make a little bit of move in my direction, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I actually made money. I can't lose this. And I just immediately jump out because I know where the exit is, because exit is anywhere. Exit is anywhere. I can get out of it. Once I'm in, I can see the exit. It's everywhere. I can get out of it. It's like I'm in, and then, but getting in is very difficult because if I don't get the door, my nose will just go bam right into the wall. So that means that means a setup is equal to a door. And so when I look at the wall, okay, I'm still getting goosebumps. Look at that. Whoa. Whoa. Look at that. Oh, that's weird. It's like that movie, The Nun. Whoa. I'm getting this really weird. Okay, anyway. Oh, October. Okay. So I'm looking at this particular situation, and I'm see, the reason I'm making these videos, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself to to have my idea to come out and come back in, so that I can reprocess it to understand a little more. So a setup is a doorway, and sometimes the doorway is far better, and this doorway sometimes, oh, it's like yeah, it's like that movie. It is like that movie, isn't it? It's like that movie. It's like that movie, Matrix. And what's his name? He's the key maker. He's a key maker. So he can go to a wall and open any door. Actually, he also has to have a door there, okay? But he has the key to open it. But I already have the key to open any door. It'll open, okay? Because all I have to do is have a little bit of money in my trading account, and that's the key to enter. So key is the key maker. He's the key maker, but he knows where the doors are. Okay? He knows the setup, and he is able to enter into any door. Okay? But I only need one or two doors that works every day, right? Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so that's what I'm looking forward to. So a setup is a door. Wow, this is like fascinating to me. A setup is a door. If I don't see the setup right, and soon as I enter, a train could be just coming my way, right? And just run me over and take my account, take like 50%, 60%, 70% of my account, gone, just like that. Unless I have a stop loss, which I do have a stop loss now, okay? Right. If I don't have a stop loss, actually on the Google trade, I did not set up the stop loss. So it was down to like, it was down like 30% and it came back and made 1%. So what do you have? We'll see what happens like today. Today's Wednesday. What is that? 20 minutes past, I think. What is that? 39 minutes past the hour. So essentially, a setup is a door, okay? And a door that defines essentially, okay. So essentially, wow, it's even the candlestick chart, candle chart formations. On the left is a history of it, but on the right, it has not occurred. And so essentially, when I recognize that setup, the setup is saying that it is a setup, and then once I enter, it's the candlestick formations will define how it's going to play out. That's what it means. And so when I enter the setup is the entryway to a door. It's a setup is equal to a door. Okay, it's a particular door, and that particular door has the depth. It means that I could get in and I can come back out. Okay. Sometimes what it will do is the stock will go up and retrace back to where I entered. It's essentially the door. And then I will be coming all the way back. That means I'm losing. Okay, that's what it means. If the stock price drops below my entry point, it's going to essentially going, whoa, what? Room, Wednesday, 12:40, 1 a.m. Oh yeah. I need to go get some sleep. Yeah, I need to go get some sleep. I need sleep. It's a reminder for me to go to the room. Whoa. It's getting really creepy. October. Whoa. Anyway. So that means I have to clearly substantiate the setup and clear description of the door with confluences will create the outline and provide what will be. What's beyond it? It's telling me what it is. Is it when I enter, is it going up or is it going down? Is it a cliff or is it an elevator? That's what I need to look at. So if my intention is to enter the door and I'm all geared up to go down a cliff, then I'm prepared. Okay? But if I am geared up to go up and I see the cliff, then I'm going to be so there has to be some sort of a insurance that I use to keep myself safe when I make that trade. And so when I look at a particular situation, such as like a dip and rip, okay, so I have to clearly substantiate what that means and what other details do I need in order to say, okay, so when I enter into this trade and it is a dip and rip, then how do I assure myself? What are the things that I need to know in order to be swayed or to create a higher probability in my trade? What other information do I need to say, okay, yeah, that piece of information increases the probability of my thesis this much. It'll increase it by 30%. Okay, so if I have this other confluence, most likely if the second confluence is there, it'll elevate it on a first level to be maybe 70%. And then the second confluence will enter and then add maybe 10 or 20% into the thesis. And the third confluence will add another 15%, okay? And the fourth one will bring it up to maybe like 90% or 95% of the statistical probability, stating that when I see these particular characteristics, it is defining a setup that will most likely on a high probability level, where if I make 100 trades, 95% of the time it'll behave the way that I expect it to, and 5% of the time it'll do whatever it wants to do. So if I look at it as a roulette table, right? Roulette table, there is a possibility of these numbers on a wheel that will show up, and these have colors. Okay, so but it's less than 50%, because there's a single zero and a double zero that's inserted into it that causes it to be skewed in the statistical probability of these, even the colors being 50-50. It's not 50-50. Okay, it's especially when two numbers are 0 and a double O, which does not have any colors. It means that it's not 50-50. Okay, it's working on, what is that, 48? That's what it say. That's a 48%, something like that, right? So even if it's less than 50%, okay? So if I bet on red, it's less than 50%. If I bet on black, it's less than 50% because of the double O's. So if I take a certain numbers, it also has a lower statistical probability. That's why the win rate is higher. So if I pick a single number, it's 36-1 odds, right? But it's really not 36-1 because the double is zero. And so that's how it works. That's how things work. Now, essentially what I'm doing is when I'm making that trade, I'm creating these confluences, adding these confluences into thought to say that, okay, this is what is most likely going to happen. That's the way the setup is made. Okay, that's what I need to do. That's how it needs to be defined in order to raise and elevate the probability that when I make that trade, that setup is correct and I'm making the right trades. That's what I need to do. Okay, I just washed dishes. I closed two areas. Okay, I closed the dinner side, which essentially is an area where like the other side makes hamburgers and other things, right? But on the side that I'm at, I'm making like macaroni and cheese, I'm making prime steak, I'm making lasagna, I'm making spaghetti, I'm making stroganoff, I'm making potatoes, and I'm making like finger steaks and fish fry and salads. So that's what I do on this side. So I close that area, meaning that I would like stock everything up, wrap everything in plastic wrap, and then sweep and mop that area. And I go to then I go to the dish area, because the young man who washed dishes while I'm on the dinner side is underage, meaning that he has to go home at a certain time. And so what's left over, I close the dish side. So I wash the dishes. Okay, and I'm the last person to leave. And I locked it correctly. I turned all the lights off and I set the alarm and things like that. And so things are good. Okay, so that's what it is. So I need to develop it into, this is what I have to say at this point is this, that I did not talk like this. I did not talk like this 2 years ago. Because there was nothing for me to discuss, because I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. Like the sergeant in Hogan's Heroes, he says, I know nothing. Right? I knew nothing. I still know nothing, but I know just a little bit more. Okay, just a little bit more. I know just a little bit more to make these discussions, and it's valid. Okay, it's valid. I had no idea. I had no idea that emotional things. Okay, so I was like, last year, I must have made like 90 heavy losses. I mean, including like I would be up 2 weeks, and then in like 1 or 2 days, I would lose everything. And then I did that like 90 or 100 times, okay? And I'm sitting in this room, this phone booth that's part of Alpha's evolution. When people are around, I can isolate my voice so nobody hears, right? So I'm like recording this video of me. I'm just saying to myself, I have no idea why it's doing that. I don't know why. Why is it doing that? Why? I can't fix it. I'm saying to myself, I can't fix it. I can't fix what's going on. Now I see why. Okay, that was like what is that? Like a year ago. Now I can see what UK spread betting is talking about. They're just saying, yeah, sure, you've was it UK spreading or SMBK? I'm getting it mixed up. Maybe it's from UK spreading. Yeah, they're talking. One of the YouTube videos talked about like, um, it seems like I'm not getting anywhere. Oh yeah, it is part of UK spreading. This guy named Mark Holsteed talked about this, and he said, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like you're making any progress because the fact is you're probably still losing the same amount of money, but you're acquiring knowledge that is helping you get closer and closer to the eventuality of becoming a consistently profitable day trader. And practically every one of the professional day traders say this: don't give up. So if I have come this far, I'm looking at myself. I'm saying to myself, look, I have come from over there where I knew nothing, and I'm here now. I'm able to understand a bit more about who I am and how I trade the market and what things that I need to do in order to improve. And I just concluded today the fact is that it is the setup is a doorway into a trade. And if the setup is not there and I enter, I'm just running into a wall. Just like that. Just like that. I'm just running into a wall. All right? So what I need to do is clearly substantiate a entry point and the reasons why I get in. Okay? So when I'm making like 40 different trades, I'm just making these trades without even concretely defining it. Because when I'm saying to myself that I'm entering, I have to clearly substantiate the reasons why I'm entering. If I'm not clearly substantiating the reasons why I enter, then I'm essentially just gambling. So if I make 1 or 2 trades or 4 or 5 trades, then these things need to be based on a solid recognition that it is a setup, it is a door.